Something really strange is happening in 2026. A boy band from the 90s, some mind-bending neuroscience, and our need to connect with each other are all smashing together in a way that, frankly, nobody predicted. We're going to break it all down right now.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to kick things off with a pop culture shocker. Then we'll unpack the psychology behind it all. We'll see how it's changing families, look at the wild new tech that's making it happen, and then finally, we'll zero in on that sweet spot that really defines what it's like to be alive in 2026.
All right, so our story starts with a total head-scratcher, something that's been lighting up screens all across the globe this year.
Take a look at this. You see the Take That poster, the stack of VHS tapes. It feels like a total time capsule, doesn't it? But here's the thing. This isn't just a dusty photo from the past. This is the key to understanding one of the biggest media phenomena of 2026.
Yep, you heard that right. A band that started 35 years ago is somehow dominating the streaming charts today. In a world that is just flooded with AI-generated shows and super-specific algorithms, it turns out that a simple story about five guys from Manchester is what has millions of us hooked.
Now, it would be so easy to just slap the nostalgia label on this and move on, but that's not even half the story. What's so wild is that it's pulling in the original fans, the Gen X parents, and their Gen Z kids who are hearing this stuff for the very first time. There's something much, much deeper happening here.
So to really get to the why behind all of this, we've got to take a look at what's going on inside all of our heads right now.
This right here, this is basically the master key. The entire world is dealing with what experts are calling crisis fatigue. It's like we're all part of this collective cultural burnout. And when that happens, we do something very human. We retreat to the comfort of a past we all remember.
And you see this especially with Gen Z. They are just exhausted by the constant pressure to live a perfect digital life. So they're getting nostalgic for the 90s, an era that most of them weren't even alive for. It's because they're craving that rough authenticity, something that feels real and, a little messy.
And let's be clear, this isn't just about feeling a little stressed out. Crisis fatigue is a genuine, deep state of exhaustion. So in that context, nostalgia stops being just a warm, fuzzy feeling. It's more like a psychological shield, a tool we're all using to cope when things get crazy.
And for the parents of today's teens, those original Take That fans, well, there's another powerful force at play here. It's called the reminiscence bump. It means that the music they loved as teenagers isn't just a playlist of old songs. It's literally hardwired into the core of their identity.
So what happens when you take those powerful memories from the parents and you mix them with their kids' search for something real and authentic? Well, you get something pretty amazing, a whole new way for families to bond.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? You have a dad sharing the soundtrack of his youth with his daughter. For him, he's reliving a core memory. For her, it's this cool new discovery. And for both of them, it becomes this incredibly powerful moment of connection.
And this kind of cultural exchange is happening more often just because our homes are literally changing. Economic pressures are bringing grandparents, parents, and kids all back under the same roof. It's like the old-school village model is making a comeback. And that creates the perfect breeding ground for sharing this stuff.
You see it everywhere you look. You've got little kids sitting on their parents' shoulders at a Stevie Wonder concert. You've got teenagers bonding with their mom over Billie Eilish. Going to gigs as a multi-generational family is just the new normal. It's the family mixtape come to life.
The science behind this is just fascinating. It's called the cascading reminiscence bump. Basically, the music that was hardwired into the parents' brains becomes the background music for their kids' earliest memories. This creates a powerful, second-hand nostalgia in the children for an era they never even lived through.
But here's where things get really wild. This whole phenomenon isn't just happening on its own. It's actually being amplified, shaped, and even engineered by some seriously futuristic technology.
I know this looks like something straight out of science fiction, but I promise you, it's real. It's called a Nostalgia Brain-Music Interface, or N-BMI. And this thing doesn't just play music, it's designed to precisely engineer the feeling of nostalgia directly in your brain.
So here's the quick and dirty on how it works. An earpiece records your brainwaves. An AI analyzes those patterns to figure out your emotional state. Then, it feeds back the absolute perfect song to maximize that nostalgic feeling. It's basically a therapeutic mixtape made just for your mind.
And this kind of technology is shaping the entire music world. On one side, you have AI tools that help artists create brand new music that has that perfect retro vibe. And on the other side, you've got platforms like TikTok that can take those sounds,
both new and old, and make them go viral with a whole new generation overnight.
So, what does this all mean when you put it together? Let's connect the dots, the psychology, the family stuff, and the tech, to really see the big picture of what our world looks like in 2026.
This all leads us to the central paradox of our time, which some are calling the cyborg village. We're using AI as a co-pilot for parenting, outsourcing things like schedules and bedtime stories, while at the exact same time, we're leaning on our actual, real-life families and communities for human connection more than ever before.
And here it is. This is the 2026 sweet spot. It's this intersection of technology, emotion, and community. It's in this overlap where we're finding a totally new way of being, a kind of high-tech humanity.
And the ultimate takeaway is this. We're not running away from technology to find meaning, we're actually running through it. We're using our most powerful and advanced tools not to escape from each other, but to find our way back to the stuff that's always mattered most: shared memories, connection, and community.
So that leaves us with one final thought. As our tech gives us the power to not only build the future, but to also perfectly revisit the past, we've got a new choice to make. If you had a time machine that was powered by music and memory, where would you go?